Good morning, everybody. We are very glad to have you here with us this morning. And I'm going to go ahead and get started. So welcome, everybody. I am Allison Ambrose. For those of you that don't know me, I'm the current president of Progressive Action for the Common Good. And I have been involved with the organization for about 3 years. And during this time, the work that we do and the people I've met are really very near and dear to my heart. And today we're here to talk about how we plan to celebrate the organization's 15th year anniversary. So while I've only been involved for 3 years, many of you probably have been involved for the entire 15 years. And really, this is quite a feat. The organization started very, communal, grassroots, and it has held its own for 15 years. It has done a lot of good work out in the community with education, advocacy, and awareness on issues of concern to progressives. So a 15th year for just an organization that started in this manner is really quite a feat. Also, I want to say that during this pandemic, we have continued to work on the issues that matter to us. We've had lots of meetings via Zoom. We continue to have our book club. We continue to fight the good fight for those that matter to us. And we did have an Earth Day celebration live a few weeks ago at the farmers market, which had to be postponed, as we all know. So anyway, PACG continues to do its good work. So when this year started, and I knew it was the 15th year anniversary, the board and I discussed, well, we would really like to celebrate our 15th year. And we thought about, having a big celebration and a party, et cetera. And then of course the pandemic occurred. So getting together and celebrating live was not really going to be in the cards. So we started talking about, well, what should we do? The community has supported us for all these years. Let's see how we can support the community. So we came up with the idea to have a Y15K, Y being years, 15 being K being thousand, fundraising initiative where we could put $15,000 into the community and help people that we want to help, and particularly those that have been impacted by COVID. So that's what this initiative is about. A subcommittee of the board has discussed and vetted various organizations and people that we want to help. So we want to share with you today the organizations that we want to help with this initiative. And of course, as you're familiar, the board will match $7,500 so that we can raise the $7,500, match $7,500 more, and infuse $15,000 into the community. So I'm really glad you're here today to hear about who we plan to help. We are using the webinar feature, so we've turned off the chat, which can be distracting, but if you do have questions, please use the question and answer icon, which should appear on your screen, and we'll get to those at the end. So again, I'm really happy to have you here today. And I'd like to introduce our first speaker, who is Grant Curtis from QC Air. And Grant will talk a little bit about what his organization does, how his constituents, the people he serves, have been impacted by COVID, and how they plan to use the funds that PACG will raise for them. So Grant, that being said, I will let you speak.
Thank you, Allison. Appreciate it. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in and being open to listening to what each of our organizations do. The mission of QC Air is to help immigrants and refugees integrate into the Quad City community by advocating for them and helping them with other agencies as necessary. We do this in one of two ways. We either provide direct services or refer to existing services that exist. And the second strategy we employ is to educate the larger community on what immigrants and refugees add to the community. I'm going to bring up a short thing here that kind of gives you an overview. As soon as I can get my computer to work, there we go. that shows a little bit about what we do. On the programs we provide direct services for, we have citizenship education workshops, and I'll go into that a little bit more. We have a positive interaction with police to try to reduce the tension between immigrants and refugees and police officers. We started a community gardening project last year. We provide some business support and referrals, and we have an emergency fund, which I'll again come back to later on. On the second strategy, we host a number of events. We have an annual dinner for immigrants and refugees who become citizens. We host cultural events. We've done with the World Affairs Council. We were looking at doing one with QCI this year. We were looking at hosting a World Cup soccer tournament and things such as a fashion show. So that's kind of an overview of what we do. On the citizenship, I have a video that I'm going to share with you that talks a little bit about what we do. Nana Orugo is our outreach director, and she's featured here in the video.
Hello everyone, my name is Nana Uro-Agoro and I'm the Outreach Director for QCA, Quad-Cities Alliance for Immigrants and Refugees. Today I want to talk to you about the NAI program, New American Initiative. The NAI program is a coordinated program between the states of Illinois and ICE, Illinois Coalition for Immigrants and Refugees, right, to help immigrants and refugees in the process of obtaining their citizenship. In order to accomplish this program, NAI has funded organizations like QCA to assist legal permanent residents in the Quad-Cities area. Today, I'm reaching out to any immigrant and refugees who has any question about their citizenship process to call me. My number is at the bottom of the screen, 309-716-7437, with any question or concern they have about their citizenship process. Also, one of the requirements for legal permanent residents is for them to study the 100 questions of the history and civic of the United States. And I have this book available with me for free for anyone who is eligible. Again, call me. My number is at the bottom of the screen, 309-716-7437. Thank you.
Nana talks a little bit about our citizenship outreach. Last year, we expanded this, so we're also working in Iowa, and we're also working to expand the services we provide by providing assistance to immigrants and refugees on how to fill out the application form. Yes, there are other organizations that do that, but there is more demand than there is capability to meet. The other thing I want to talk about this morning is our emergency fund. And really, there's two parts to this. We have it what I'm going to call a ongoing emergency fund where we provide assistance, financial assistance to immigrants and refugees. For instance, if a family is being evicted, then we are willing to help step in and provide some financial assistance to avoid the eviction. We help with providing rent. When people need to get into an apartment, we help with electricity. And these are the types of things that we do. The other part of our emergency program is a relatively new program, and this is where we're going to use the $5,000 that hopefully everything will get raised. It's called a low income cash assistance program. In June, the state of Illinois funded a program in Illinois that provided cash assistance to immigrants and refugees who had a job and were negatively impacted by COVID-19. They may have lost one or more jobs. They may have had their hours cut. They may have lost child support if they had children. They may have incurred medical bills that they couldn't pay because of loss of job and so forth. And this is a great program. It took us about 2.5 weeks for us to get our 20 applications submitted. But as we were doing this, we realized, hey, there's nothing in Iowa to support this type of a program or to support immigrants and refugees who are impacted. And so we started working on a program in Iowa to do the same thing, where we will provide cash assistance, $1,000 to immigrants and refugees who meet some certain basic requirements. Obviously, the first one is they have to have had income. The next one is they have to have been negatively impacted by the COVID-19 virus. And then the third one is they can't have received benefits from the federal government, the $1,200, the unemployment uplift, or federal assistance. Those are the basics. And what our intention is folks that meet those requirements, we will provide $1,000 cash assistance to help them cover their expenses during this time. And we've got our first $1,000 that's been donated. PCAG is planned on making a contribution to us with what they can raise out of this. Our bank has already agreed to waive the setup fees for the cards because we will give them a debit card, or in this case, a gift card. Our bank has agreed to waive those fees, and we're in the process of soliciting more donations in order to be able to provide assistance in that regard. So these are kind of a quick summary of things we do and where we plan on using the money. We have some other things that again, I'm not going to go into, but couple of things we have on the I'm going to call it the drawing board is we're looking at developing some sort of youth program. We have a donor who's an author who's indicated a willingness to provide some of the proceeds from his book sales to allow us to implement some sort of youth program. So we started looking at that. We also provide some education assistance. So any immigrant or refugee who wants to improve their skills so that they can get a better paying job, we're interested in providing some assistance to them if they need it. And so, you know, the myriad of projects and programs that we are involved with continues to grow as we move forward. And the money that PACG will donate will help greatly in stretching or providing assistance to immigrants and refugees in Iowa, cash assistance. If you have any questions, I'll be on for the length of the webinar, so feel free to ask them through the Q&A, and I'll be happy to answer when we're done. Thank you.
Thanks, Grant. I actually learned a lot about QC just from you talking on these webinars. So you really seem to be doing a lot of great things and exciting things. Hopefully this pandemic will get over so you can continue with those. But I also love how the money we're raising will go directly to these families who don't seem to have any other means for supporting themselves during these rough times. So we're really pleased that we found you and that you have such a program going on. So thank you. The next speaker is Linda Sargent, and she is the founder and president of Heart of Hope, which operates out of Rock Island. So we are operating with our funds on both sides of the river, which is something we really wanted to do. So Linda, I will let you talk about your organization and how you plan to use the money that PACG raises. Linda?
Yes, I'm here. Um, I'm not sure why I'm not. Okay, can you hear me okay? All right, there I am. All right, well, thank you, Allison and Alta, once again, for this opportunity to share about Heart of Hope Ministries. Again, every time I see that video, I think of all the stories and all the families involved. And as you could see, Heart of Hope also works with a lot of refugee families from the area. Before the COVID-19 set in, we did have a lot of the children coming in. We were able to offer educational programs and after school programs on Wednesday. And our food pantry was serving the community with about 45 to 50 visits a week. And since the pandemic, that has tripled. And so we actually had 141 week. We also have clothing ministry where we're able to provide clothing, hats, gloves, coats, and school supplies, and clothes and shoes of all kinds. As you saw in the video, you know, we've been able to put shoes on the feet of young children that have come in there just in poor condition with their shoes, their clothing, and so. We also partner with Grant and have underwear, brand new underwear for underwear because we care, his organization also. So we also have provided programs to adults in need of resources. We partner with other agencies in the area. And so we've helped people with job searches and with job coaching. And our goal is to not only give them food and clothes, but resources in order to better their lives and give them a hand up. And we're about 11 years old now. We're in a facility located at 1740 9th Avenue in Rock Island. It was donated to us about 7 years ago by a retired physician. And so out of that building, we are now serving the community. We continue to do so. We found new ways to do that during the pandemic. We now box and bag foods and the cars drive by and we put the food in there. But a new program that developed because of the pandemic was we now deliver food to the elderly and disabled. We go right to their homes, and our wonderful volunteers will sometimes go into their facilities and put the food on their counters or whatever they need us to do. We're going into Rock Island and Moline, East Moline, Silvis, and Davenport and Milan. And when we now have 3 different teams that do that. We're using our 19-year-old vehicle, which is one reason why we're really in need of funding also, because that vehicle was a 15-passenger van that was donated to us about 4 years ago by a friend. And we would use that van to take our kids to the museums and the zoos and other different functions. But we also remove seats and we use it for our food pickups every week. We're picking up 3,000 to 5,000 pounds of food a week. And during the month of April, we also were going down to Peoria and getting free food from Midwest Food Bank. We spent over $2,400, and with a budget for food that was $10,000 a year, we couldn't continue to do that. So we've been getting whatever free food we can. We partner with Hy-Vee, get bread and pastries. We get pizzas from Little Caesars. We get other opportunities that allow us to pick up, that we're primarily buying our food from Riverbend Food Bank every Thursday. And so they also have a lot of free options. We take advantage of that. And we have actually, our new figures, we've served over 44,000 individuals in the Quad Cities since we opened our food pantry on May 1st of 2014. And as I said, the increase, we're seeing it every month. Between June and July, we had a 40% increase in visits to our food pantry. We now have people actually coming during the week in need of food. And so I told our staff and volunteers to make up emergency bags so that we could actually give people food when they come to the door. We don't want to have to tell them, well, you got to wait till Thursday to eat. And so we're continuing to serve. We'll be using the funding to purchase food. And also, hopefully, we're believing God that we're going to get a vehicle that's going to allow us to continue to do what we're doing. And so that's another immediate need. So if you're interested in learning more about Heart of Hope, our website is heartofhopeqc.org. And we also have a Facebook page, Heart of Hope Outreach. So I welcome you to check us out. And again, I just thank you for this opportunity of sharing with you what Heart of Hope Ministries is doing in the Quad Cities. Thank you.
Thanks, Linda. I always enjoy listening to Linda because she really has a lot of passion for our organization. And the Community Foundation put us in touch with Heart of Hope. We reached out to them for some organizations that might be in need. And I really love these organizations too that directly impact their people that they serve without a whole lot of bureaucracy. So I think Heart of Hope is a perfect match for us in terms of being able to give to people who need help at this time. So thank you, Linda. So our next panelist is Melissa Friedoff, and she is with Catalyst Kitchen. And many of you may remember from our Christmas party that we had Maria serve us tamales. And Maria is a product of the kitchen, and Melissa will tell us about how our money will help people who want to have business in food service. So Melissa, I will leave it up to you then.
Good morning. Hello, everyone. I'm Melissa Friedhoff Rogers. I'm the coordinator here at St. John's Lutheran of the Catalyst Kitchen. It's a project that was started as a partnership between Palomares Social Justice Center and St. John's. I'm also a board member of Palomares, and I'm here today with one of our rock star Catalyst Kitchen users, Mari Carmen Lopez. From Tamales for Hope. Many of you met her at the Christmas party, and she's going to share a little bit about her story of how she came to start her business and how she took advantage of the programs and resources and help and support available here at the Catalyst Kitchen. So thank you for having us. We're honored to have been selected by Progressive Action for the Common Good, and looking forward to seeing what kinds of new stories we can create. So we will start our PowerPoint, and then we'll stop it briefly, and Maria will share her story, and I will translate for her. So, all right, here we go.
Entonces, yo empecé vendiendo.
Vamos a empezar con eso. Y ya. So really, the Catalyst Kitchen was created to create access to opportunities. We saw a need within the neighborhood and the greater community to have a kind of step between having the economic resources for a brick and mortar store for someone that wants to start a business. We also realized that access needed to be created through language. About 75% of our Floreciente neighbors are Spanish speaking. And so we kind of wanted to create a space and also the support necessary to start a business. Many people are interested in taking that next step and working for themselves and building something for their families. So the kitchen is available for rent 24 hours. We have about probably 12 part-time users. And we also worked with different community partners to create a class that is a requirement for creating a food business. It's called a Serve Safe Manager course, and it is available in Spanish. I also teach it at Blackhawk, and so that was kind of a product of both Mercado on Fifth and the Catalyst Kitchen. Before that class was offered at Blackhawk, community members had to travel to Chicago to take that course. So it's really been a great thing to have here in the Quad Cities for people that are interested in starting that business. Pastor Stacy is here at St. John's, and she was a big part of starting the Catalyst Kitchen. Just going to read this from her. The dream behind the Catalyst Kitchen is to empower every neighbor who longs to support themselves or their family through their love of cooking to be able to do that openly and with support. We want to use the kitchen to be a place where all members of the community are supported, both financially and with a broader group of people who will help them succeed. And again, that kind of networking and partnering with other community organizations has really been key to that. We're good at networking and working together to really support these business owners. And a couple of our business owners have even, there's one that is starting a brick and mortar store this week. And that is, you'll hear in Maria's story, her goal as well. So seeing that growth and how that affects people is really kind of the cool thing that comes out of it. Here is a list of our businesses. You can see Maria's here making some tamales in this photo, and then also our friends from Wellington Toffee. They're mostly working around Christmas time, but they donate all of their proceeds to children's charities. So they're a really cool organization as well. We have Delectables by Belena, that's cheesecake and other delicious desserts. Indulge Catering, another minority-owned business. Tamales for Hope, of course. Don Chuy's Puesto de Comida. She's really branched out as well. She has purchased a food trailer now. She started out just kind of having a little food stand and really has had a lot of growth too. So it's been fun to support her and see her growth as well. This is just me coordinating the kitchen. Now we will hear from Mari Carmen. It's a great story, and we're so proud of her success and growth as well. She's well on her way to great things. Sorry, I'm just with my mouse here. Okay, hopefully you can see us again. So Maria's going to just share a little bit about how she became involved with the kitchen, and then we'll get back to our PowerPoint. Oops. Okay.
Ok, entonces yo empecé vendiendo, bueno, primeramente perdí mi trabajo porque
First
me
of all,
enfermé.
I lost my job. ¿Y dónde estaba trabajando? Because I got sick.
Estaba trabajando en una fábrica de
I was working in a
cosas que hacían para Walmart.
I was working in a factory that was making goods for Walmart.
Ajá, entonces me dio leucemia.
I got leukemia.
Entonces tuve que dejar mi trabajo y
So I had to leave my job.
Pero estaba sola con mi niña.
But I was a single parent with my daughter.
Entonces no tenía cómo pagar gastos en mi casa.
I didn't have any way to support my household expenses.
Entonces pensé en venderle comida a mis amistades, vender tamales.
So I started thinking about selling food to my friends and tamales specifically.
Pero entonces salía a ofrecer y se me hacía difícil, entonces pensé en agarrar un certificado.
So then it kind of got to be where I realized that it was difficult and I needed to get the certification.
Entonces agarré el certificado y...
So then I signed up for the class and received my food manager certification.
El siguiente paso fue difícil porque yo quería vender, ofrecer más tamales.
And then the next step was difficult because I wanted to kind of step it up and start to sell more tamales.
Pero se me hacía difícil con la aseguranza, con la cocina.
But it was difficult to find a kitchen and insurance. Y había un amigo que le iba a prestar, pero...
Y había un amigo que me iba a prestar, pero cobraba mucho.
I had a friend that was going to loan me his kitchen, but he really just charged so much.
Entonces, conocí a Melissa.
And then I met Melissa.
Y me ayudó mucho
And she helped me a lot too.
Me acertó acerca de la cocina.
She kind of helped me to get to know the kitchen. And
me introdujo con lo de las seguranzas y
And
todo eso.
helped me with figuring out the insurance and all that stuff.
Sí, entonces empecé vendiendo
So then I started to sell.
y hasta ahora la cocina me ha ayudado bastante porque puedo ofrecerle a la gente con más confianza.
The kitchen has helped me so much because now I have developed a trust and that comfort level with using the kitchen. Y llego a vender cuántos.
Y llegué a vender hasta ahora
Y
1,200
empezando cuántos
tamales.
vendió.
Empezaba vendiendo
At the beginning, I was selling
400.
like 400 tamales on a day that I made them. And then Maria just shared that her biggest day, which we were also proud of her, she actually made 1,200 tamales. Y así pudo cobrar pagar sus gastos de la
Y ya
quimioterapia.
pude cobrar todos mis gastos.
So with this,
gracias.
with the sales, the tamale sales, she could cover all of her expenses with her chemo and everything that she needed because she did not qualify for any kind of help with insurance or medical costs. So.
Entonces, pienso que la cocina es muy importante no solo para mí,
I think that
sino
the
para
kitchen
muchas
is very
personas
important, not just for me, but for a lot of people,
que no tenemos la oportunidad
that we don't have the opportunity
de tener todo en orden.
to have everything kind of ready to go in order.
Entonces,
Y mucho dinero para,
mucho dinero.
and it's so much money.
Entonces también quiero agradecer por esa ayuda.
So I'm very grateful for that help.
Y esto.
¿Y cuáles son sus planes para?
Mis planes para el futuro.
And my plans for the future?
Yo deseo poner una tienda de grocery store.
I would like to open a little grocery store.
Entonces, poder ahí vender mis tamales, cocinarlos acá y llevarlos
Sell
para
my
vender.
tamales and still cook them here and then take them there to sell.
Ese es uno de los planes.
That's my plan. And I'm sure that I'm personally sure that she will be able to do it. Her tamales are the best I've had. In fact, I confess I had some from a store that I was just picking something else up and I didn't even eat them because I'm so spoiled by her tamales. And she has them for sale for ¿cuándo va?
Agosto 13.
On the 13th of August, you can come to the Catalyst Kitchen and pick them up by the dozen. So thank you, Maria, so much.
Sí. Si quieren llamar al 30, textear.
You can text her
309
at 309
428
428
2424.
2424. So
y hacer la orden.
And make your order. So we're so proud of her. Thank you, Maria. Gracias.
Gracias.
Estamos todos muy orgullosos de ti porque todo creció en un año, ¿no?
Sí.
And she had all of this
Todo
growth
creció.
in 1 year. So, okay, we're going to go back to our PowerPoint. Thank you. Let's see here. Almost. Okay. This is a quote from Pastor Stacy that kind of just talks about what has happened as a result of the Catalyst Kitchen and that business support along the way, and how the community here at St. John's has supported our kitchen users in a way that's really beautiful and incredible. So having you guys be a part of that is going to be something I think really special. And we're very excited about it. I have seen timid neighbors come through the doors of the kitchen and bloom with the confidence of knowing that what they do can makes a difference in their lives and others. Some have just needed an outlet and a place to make their dream happen. Others have needed the uplifting of neighbors from all backgrounds, telling them how much they appreciate their gifts to find a new self-reliance and resilience they didn't know they had. In the case of Maria, sometimes it feels like the kitchen has literally saved a life, as she has found support, love, financial and emotional strength, all on a journey through cancer. And this for me is why I'm honored and so proud to be a part of this program here. It's a pleasure and a joy to work with the immigrant community and specifically the undocumented community, because some people have like Maria, lost their jobs and are not able to receive help in life crises that are happening, and loss of employment or underemployment. This kind of just it's a catalyst for people to take that next step in achieving the American dream. And I mentioned on our last presentation that grit and that exists in the immigrant community is kind of just boosted here. And sometimes people just need that little boost to get to that next step, whether it's through language or just connecting with resources. And so we're really proud to be doing what we do here. And thanks to Pastor Stacy for spearheading this. So that's, I think, all we have. We'll see if you guys have any questions later. Thank you so much. The funds will go towards helping new entrepreneurs take those classes, and also possibly some kitchen rentals and equipment for the businesses. And we have seen a greater need with the pandemic, as I mentioned, the loss of employment, or we have quite a few people that want to sign up for the classes in the fall in the undocumented community. So I'm really looking forward to being part of that next class that we'll be holding. So thank you again.
Thank you, Melissa. I think it's really cool that we have something like that in the Quad City community. Also, I love that the money is helping people help themselves in terms of being able to be business owners, and good luck to Marie Carmen. And August 13th can come pick up some tamales. That's good to know. So thank you for that presentation. The last organization that we are wanting to help, and let me share my screen here, is where PACG has their office. It's in a place called Cobblestone Place in downtown Davenport. I don't know if many of you have been there. Okay, I thought I was on mute for a moment, but I'm not. I'm not sure if many of you have been there, but this is where we have an office, and Cobblestone Place is also a residence facility for that has affordable housing. And they let us rent an office there, which is important. We do a lot of things there. We have a lot of paperwork and computers and things like that. But the rent that Cobblestone charges us is ridiculously low. So we kind of want to pay back to that facility in terms of helping the tenants that live there. So Cobblestone is a place with 28 units, and there's a variety of tenants there. There's families, elderly, disabled. They often have veterans. And they provide affordable housing. So they do this by participating in the low income housing tax credit program and the home program, which is a City of Davenport program. So this allows the rent to not be exorbitant for the tenants there. I asked the property manager if she had noticed people having been affected by COVID, and there had been a few who could not pay their rent. And Diane, who is the property manager, is very good at making connections with other organizations. She said she could work through the Salvation Army so that people would not end up being evicted. We know there was that hold on that, of course, but moving forward, everyone is caught up on their rent. She also works with Humility of Mary Housing. So if she has a single apartment available, she often will reach out to Humility of Mary Housing and ask if there's anyone ready to move into their home, into their own apartment, which really is meaningful for these people because they're living in a homeless shelter and can suddenly find themselves with an affordable place to live that they can call their own. So Diane works a lot with the community in making sure the tenants, the apartments are filled with tenants so people don't have to be homeless, et cetera, and that people's rents are getting paid. And it's a very nice, stable housing place for people. How we plan to help them is people live there, so this is their home, and they do have a little playground in the back. There's a grill, and we want to place a nice permanent bench in that yard area so people can enjoy the fresh air, if they're grilling, etc. And this should be a nice permanent park bench that you see in parks, metal, and we want to have a little plaque on it that recognizes our affiliation with Cobblestone. Also, the single unit one bedrooms, they have a kitchen area that's common, and the tenants have indicated they would like a place to eat there in that kitchen, so some table and chairs. So Diane, the property manager, actually polled the tenants on what kind of needs they have, and this one emerged as a need, which is something we didn't really know about. And Diane actually told me that someone asked her recently, when are we going to get that? And so anyway, they're looking forward to that, to be able to cook in that common area and then actually eat maybe with each other, or have a nice place to feel like they can call home in terms of a dining area. Also, Diane identified that the biggest need then is transportation. So we hope to buy some bus passes with these funds beyond these physical assets that we're going to be buying them. And as we know, many people that need low-income housing may not have transportation as a way to get to a good grocery store, their health care, et cetera. So we're going to investigate the best way to distribute bus passes in terms of monthly passes, or if they can share them or whatever. So we will investigate that. But again, we are providing for a direct need of people that have been identified by themselves. So we're really excited about that. So we feel that Cobblestone has done allowed us to operate at a very affordable price, and we wanted to help the people that live there. Diane did tell me that she once had a veteran, when he got his apartment in her office, just danced with joy because he had been homeless. So she said that was one of the most touching moments she had had when someone found out that they would have a home of their own. So that is how we plan to help Cobblestone with some of these funds that we are raising. So that being said, these are the organizations that we want to help, and hopefully you can feel good that your money that we hope to have you donate will go to good use. And so of course this webinar was to inform you of what we plan to do, but of course I can't end it without saying that I hope you feel somewhat touched by something you heard to want to give in honor of our 15th year anniversary. You can donate on our website. There's a donate button, and many of you probably received a letter from me and the board with an envelope where you can just put your check in the mail and it will go directly to us, indicating that this is a donation for this initiative. So that being said, we're excited about this initiative. We're excited to help people in the community. We think it's a great way to honor our 15th year. And we do hope to someday celebrate our accomplishment with this initiative, where we can see all your faces in person and get together again and really feel good about what we've done. So that being said, I do see that there are some questions. So I'm going to go to them, and I might need to have a few people answer them. But one question, we have a couple of questions for Grant. And the first one is, why do we only plan to distribute money to people on the Iowa side? And I think that was answered within the presentation. The state of Illinois is earmarking money for people in their state to get this kind of money and this kind of help, but Iowa doesn't have that kind of support. So that's why we're just earmarking the funds for QC-Air to Iowa immigrants and refugees. So I hope that was clear with Grant's presentation. But Grant, I'm not sure whether you can say, but someone also asked, who is the author that you said might be donating money? I don't know if you can tell us or not. That was a question, so.
Yeah, I don't think you'll have any objections whatsoever to my sharing. The imam from the mosque in Moline is also an author. He's in the process of publishing a book called The Coach's Coach. It is not out yet, but he is the individual who has said that he wants to donate some of the proceeds to a youth program, and QC-Air is one of those organizations that he's looking to make a donation to. So this is not something that's going to happen in the next few months. It's probably more like 6 to 8 months down the road, because it's in the process of going through the publishing. The publisher has it and is doing their thing to it now. And I was blessed to be able to review the book before he sent it for final review with the publisher, and he and I have an excellent working relationship, and that's the author that I'm referring to, Aman Bashir. And I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name because if I get beyond English, my wife will tell you I really butcher it because I butcher English as it is. So.
All right, thank you, Grant. Is it a kid's book then?
No, it's a book that's aimed at, well, from my perspective, it's really aimed at everybody, but the gist of the book itself is to help coach people who are going to coach others. So the thing that limits everybody is their own mindset. And part of a coach's responsibility is to encourage people to step outside of their mindset. Yes, it's very uncomfortable. And if you have a coach or somebody who's there with you helping you get to that, it becomes a little bit easier. And so if you want to change the circumstance, I think everybody's probably heard the definition of insanity, to do the same thing you've always done and expect to get to a different place. So if you want to get to a different place, you've got to do something different. Coach's responsibility is to help you get there. And a lot of people like to coach, but they aren't real sure themselves of am I doing it right? So the Aman is publishing this book to help coaches head down the path to help those folks reach more for themselves.
Okay, thanks. Before I get to the last two questions, I do want to say, remember Maria Carmen gave her phone number, so I'm just going to repeat that in case you want to order some delicious tamales. I've had them and they are indeed delicious. And her number again is 309-428-2424. So you have a direct access to delicious food. Okay, a couple of other questions. When do we plan on distributing the funds? So of course we need to raise the funds. The board will match up to $7,500. And so we would like to get this money out as soon as possible. So if you can get your checks in the mail, I hate to be, this hardcore fundraising lady, but as soon as you can, that would be great. We would like to wrap everything up as soon as possible, but no later than October, I would say. So we want to help people as soon as we can. And then how do we follow up on how the money is spent is another question. We will be following up with these organizations, having a report. Maybe we'll have a follow-up webinar so you can hear what the impact was. And we do hope to also get some press out of this. So this is not going to silently go away. We will be transparent and we will keep people informed on how these organizations did use the money and who they were able to help. I'd love to have some more testimonials from people truly impacted. I think that's very powerful. And so those are the questions that I see. I'll give people a little bit of opportunity to ask any more. And I do want to again thank you for being here today and supporting PACG. Keep reading our weekly newsletter that you get to see what kind of work we're continuing to do during the pandemic and also with follow-up on this fundraising initiative. So that's a very informative newsletter. And if you're not signed up, you can sign up on our website as well. So we're really appreciative for you to be here. And I don't see any other questions coming in. So we've gotten you through this in less than an hour, which is always a good thing. And again, we're excited. Please donate. And thank you for your support and thank you for being here today. We also are recording this, so this will be posted on our website or on our Facebook page also. So please share with friends so we can, raise this money and help as many people as we can. So thank you.
Allison?
Yes.
If I can make one quick pitch here for the program, we have especially in Illinois, but this is going on in Iowa too, we have established a waiting list. So as money becomes available, we can get it out to people who need it. So if you know any immigrants or refugees who have been impacted by COVID, if you could have them text me their name, phone number, and state they're from, we'll reach out to them and put them on the list and let them know what's going on. So.
Thank you, Grant. A lot of these times is about making the right connection. So the more people you can have in your network and know about, the better advice we can give for anyone that needs help. So thank you. And again, everybody, thank you for attending and have a great weekend.